Marvel's Spider-Man obviously did a lot of things right. It's not a perfect game, I guess nothing really is for the most part, but it's a beloved superhero game. People really enjoyed it. It let you actually, to quote the meme from Batman Arkham, feel like Spider-Man. And overall, it had a lot of great mechanics. Fun, swinging, traversal, really interesting characters, and exploration of the Peter Parker side of Spider-Man. There's a lot of things that people really connected with and enjoyed, but there is one almost universally hated character in this game, and that is Screwball. Now, I know that there are the fringe lunatics out there that really like this character, but I think the reason a lot of us hate this character is more simple than I was trying to make it out to be. When I was originally writing up a script for this video, I realized that I was making it so complicated and so complex of a character study of why Screwball is hated, but it really boils down to something simple. Screwball is too real. Screwball is too annoying and too frustrating and a reflection of a lot of people in real life. So today we're going to take a brief look at that and also some of the other reasons why Screwball is so obnoxious. So if you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. I enjoy talking about all kinds of pop culture stuff, video games, movies, Marvel, DC, Spider-Man, Batman, Metal Gear Solid, James Bond, Fallout. There's a lot of stuff on this channel we love talking about, so I hope you will join us for the ride. Now, growing up during the rise of YouTube, I got to witness a lot of fun things, from the creation of, just kind of fun, wholesome, ridiculous channels like Smosh, all the way down to YouTubers who shall not be named who are absolute menaces to society. You did, of course, have fun gaming channels like PewDiePie and Markiplier, the more like company-driven, but small company brands that were coming up like Rooster Teeth, Machinima. But of course, you also always had these clout-chasing, insane lunatics who kept actually upping the ante on prank culture. And the idea around prank culture, the idea around all of this was essentially, no matter what I do, I am going to get followers. No matter what I do, it's justifiable for fame. No matter what I do, I'm going to get ahead, so it doesn't matter who I hurt along the way, because look at my followers and numbers grow. There's still a lot of people who do this kind of prank culture thing. It's seeped into a lot of other types of content, and overall it's led to a lot of insane crimes and actual criminal charges. And I think one of the reasons Screwball is so hated is because Screwball is such an insane but true-to-life reflection of this. No matter what Screwball does, it is for her benefit. She gains followers, people watch, and this is unfortunately a thing that happens in real life. You will see things like a Facebook live stream where someone got killed, and there will be a bunch of people watching. A lot of the times, if you've never heard this analogy before, sometimes people say like, when you pass by a car wreck on the side of the road, you shouldn't really be looking, but it's almost like you can't look away because your brain can't wrap itself around how insane this is, what just happened. And this happens a lot with people and different subjects too. Now, there are a lot of other reasons that Screwball is definitely hated that we're going to get into with the mechanics of the character, but I really do think, first off, that Screwball, even though a lot of people don't know that she is striking a chord with them and kind of connecting with them in terms of like, wow, this is too real. I truly do believe Screwball is too real, in the sense that there would, of course, be clout-chasing morons in this world, the same way as there are in our world in real life. I've also seen some very interesting comparisons between this character and the Riddler. The Riddler is obviously synonymous in video games with something like Batman Arkham, with the Batman Arkham series really focusing on that character as a side character who's constantly challenging Batman, getting in his way, and being obnoxious. I've seen some people say, well, how come the Riddler works if Screwball doesn't work? I've even seen some very interesting arguments trying to say that one of the reasons people are more annoyed by Screwball is because Screwball is a woman, whereas Riddler is a man. And overall, I don't think this could be further from the truth of the actual reason why Screwball is disliked and is just obnoxious. Riddler is obnoxious in these games, but he's also fun. He's annoying, but you feel good putting him in his place. As you solve his challenges in the Batman Arkham series, he's constantly calling you over the radio to complain about how well you're doing, to basically say you must be cheating, and he's just getting overall upset all the time behind the scenes at how good Batman is doing. We don't actually get to see too many interactions with someone like Screwball in this manner. In fact, Screwball pretty much plays everything off as an absolute win, no matter what, and is convinced of it, whereas Riddler is not. You can tell that Riddler in the Batman Arkham series is constantly convincing himself, or trying to convince himself, that basically he's in the right and you're in the wrong, but he knows that he's actually losing. You can tell. Whereas Screwball is so self-assured and so constantly full of herself because of the numbers, the followers, and all of this stuff, that she, no matter what, believes that she's winning. Riddler is trying to fool himself, whereas Screwball has already fooled herself. And this, I think, as a player, makes you kind of more annoyed, because with Riddler, you get a sense of smug satisfaction, whereas with Screwball, you're just like, get out of my face, please. On top of that, I also think the challenges of Screwball are not very intellectual. And I don't want to sound like I'm full of myself or think that I'm really intelligent. I mean, half the time I encounter puzzles in video games, my wife has to help me, so I don't really think I'm the smartest guy out there. But something that I really liked about something like the Riddler was that that character makes you feel intelligent. Not only are you finding stupid little Riddler trophies, which is probably one of the most annoying parts about the character, but you are also solving riddles, you're solving puzzles, you're making physics happen, you're doing things. And with Screwball, something I've noticed is that it's all just about showing off. You're showing off your moves, you're showing off how good you can traverse, you're taking pictures. I mean, these are things that Spider-Man does not at all have to prove, and don't really say anything more about his character beyond what we already know. We know Spider-Man is hyper flexible. We know Spider-Man is very strong. We know Spider-Man has a ton of gadgets and can do a great job with them in his game. But when it comes down to it, there's no real intellectual push that makes you feel smart and accomplished as a player. There's nothing really where there's a big puzzle to solve that you solve and then feel like, wow, I did something. I'm actually pretty smart. I feel pretty good today. There's really nothing like that with Screwball. All it is constant showboating, and it really gets old and repetitive because of it. Something that's interesting to me is I know that comparing these games, they are very different, but the reason I wanted to compare, Screwball to someone like Riddler is because they both fill sort of a similar niche in the story or the overall world to present an obnoxious threat and annoying obstacles to the player, but that are supposed to leave them feeling accomplished in the end, and are supposed to leave them feeling like they proved themselves. For me, I never really felt that with Screwball. I felt like I was checking off a list and getting through it, which is interesting because I thought someone like the Riddler worked for a few games and then started to really annoy people. I would say around the time of Arkham Origins coming back or Arkham Knight coming back, that character started to really irritate people because they're still basically going around finding data packets and Riddler trophies and stuff like that, where it got annoying. But for a lot of people, Screwball got annoying halfway into her storyline from just one game. It didn't really help that overall, I don't think Insomniac really took feedback into consideration when they got to the DLCs, because Screwball just comes back again in the DLCs, despite being one of the most hated parts of the main actual Spider-Man game. Overall, I interestingly think Screwball does work for what they wanted her to be in Insomniac Spider-Man. Screwball is annoying. They clearly wanted Screwball to be annoying. Screwball is a parody and reflection of real-life cultures around hype culture, prank culture, and all these crazy things online, and the constant chasing of clout and followers. She works for that. But unfortunately, when you want something to be annoying, and it is annoying, it's still just annoying. There has to be more to it than that, more that actually engages the player and makes them want to participate in Screwball's challenges, or any challenges. Another comparison too that I want to make before we close is the Taskmaster. Taskmaster is a little repetitive in Marvel's Spider-Man, but even though there's less content to do for Taskmaster and less going on, I personally felt like Taskmaster had similar challenges that were meant to actually prove Spider-Man's physical prowess, but they weren't annoying. They forced you to fight Taskmaster in different ways and try out different techniques, in order to actually defeat him and basically defeat the people around him. And I thought that this was kind of the same similar thing, but in a way that doesn't make the characterization of the character around those tasks so obnoxious that you don't want to participate in them. Again, it's kind of a comparison between, why Screwball is obnoxious and frustrating and why other characters aren't. I think you can do the kind of things that were done with Screwball, but you have to make the characterization around the character that you're participating with likable, interesting, or at least you like to hate them. I actually hate to hate Screwball because I just hate Screwball and find Screwball annoying. I think at the end of the day, you have to kind of walk a fine line between these things, just like there are, difficulties when writing any villain. Do you write a villain just because they're evil to be evil, or do you write them for very relatable reasons? Those are character qualities and questions that people have all the time in writing, and I think at the end of the day, Screwball was written to be annoying. But why was she written to be annoying? Just to be annoying. And I think that once you start putting that kind of thing in your video game, you do hit the point where it is just what you set out to do. It's annoying, and people don't really connect with it very much. Again, I think Screwball works for what she was designed to do. I don't really think it's a huge flaw in the game that's like an absolute glaring spot, but it is content that I never really have an interest in engaging with after I've actually gotten the Platinum Trophy on Marvel's Spider-Man. Once I've completed that, I just kind of feel like I should breeze by Screwball's stuff and not touch it because it's so frustratingly obnoxious, even though it's not even that difficult, that I just don't want to talk to her. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I will be interested to hear your thoughts on this subject. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. There will be more Spider-Man content coming up as well. Also more Metal Gear, Transformers, James Bond, like I said, the whole shebang. So I look forward to you joining us on that journey. We're at over 120,000 subscribers now, so I appreciate that a lot, getting on our way to 125. And if you did enjoy today's video, also we do have a secondary channel, Degenerate Plays, which is linked in the description down below, where we actually played through Miles Morales on that channel. That was very fun. We had a good time with that. And we do have other channels as well, including my wife's channel, Magical Chill, and our horror channel, King of Creepy. If you want to support this channel, we do also have Patreon and channel memberships with exclusive content, and we do have our own store, magicalchill.com or enchantedglamour.com, which is GLAMOR.com, where we do sell all kinds of really fun crafts and art stuff. We've been working really hard on making custom jewelry and also on making comic book resin pieces. These are comic books that are getting thrown away. They usually aren't even recycled. A lot of them end up in landfills, but they're getting thrown out by comic book stores. And what we do is we actually collect them from these stores and from pawn shops and secondhand shops that can't sell them, and we turn the paper into something really cool that can actually adorn your desk or workplace, and we hope you will enjoy as much as we do. So we hope to see you in the next one. Have a fantastic day, and as always, everyone, stay shway.